Hello friends, welcome back to my channel. Also, if you are new, welcome. Today's video is definitely a needed one. We are going to be doing some regular cleaning, but also some spring deep cleaning around today's house. But I'm going to be honest with you guys. I was having a rough week last week. Like mentally, physically, emotionally, it was just a hard week. And I know often people will ask questions of how to get their motivation and how to get stuff done. And I have to say, when it comes to getting stuff done, when you are just mentally not in the right space, is one, just to start and take it slow. Like, don't overwhelm yourself. Don't stress yourself out. If you don't get it all done, it's not the end of the world. And if you didn't do it perfect, it's not the end of the world. So that is going to be my big thing today, is keep in mind when you are watching today's video that this video was a struggle to make. Like, I took multiple breaks. I had to talk myself into this multiple times, and I just took it bite-sized pieces. So quickly cleaning my room and then going and relaxing and then talking myself into doing another small project. So if you are in this position like I was last week, where mentally, physically, emotionally, you were just in a dark space, because that's where I was this past week, I want this to be the motivation that let's break it up, take it into bite-sized pieces, and we can get this done together. I got questions about this air purifier just the other week. So this is a water air purifier. I like these because filters on air purifiers, especially in my house, get clogged so often that it's a lot of money to keep up with replacing them. So I've had them in the past, and often I just let them go because I end up not replacing it enough. So this water one, I really, really enjoy because all I gotta do is replace the water. But into the bathroom, my main thing on this day with this bathroom was I wanted to get the vanity cleaned, but then I also wanted to get the grout cleaned by the door. That part of our bathroom is always very dirty because that's where Bailey likes to lay. Bailey is our 170-pound St. Bernard. So it gets grimy. And then for the most part, on pretty much everything, when I am dusting and cleaning it, I am using some Pine Sol. I either use my Pine Sol multi-purpose cleaner or my Thieves cleaner. I love the way it smells. I like that Pine Sol, the smell of it naturally deters bugs. I hate bugs, and we live in Florida, so they're bound to happen. But anything I can do to deter them, I am going to do. Plus, it just makes life so much easier when I am walking around and all I have to worry about is replacing my rag when it gets dirty. But when it comes to my cleaner, I pretty much use one cleaner on most everything. I was taking the kids to school this morning and I was telling them how crazy it is that February is already almost over. Like the kids have a couple weeks and then they have spring break again at the end of March. And then after spring break, we literally just have 2 short months before summer vacation. I've been thinking about this and it's just insane how fast everything is going. For these floors, so my go-to, and it's the best stuff, if you have not tried it yet, try it, is this Zep grout cleaner. It is amazing, absolutely amazing, and I like to just use a regular brush with it because it comes up so clean. And then I literally let that sit for about 30 seconds. It's not much time on there at all. You can use one of the electric brushes. The reason I like just the regular brush is it comes so clean so easily that you guys know if you have electric brushes that those can fling the dirt and grime around, which is not a big deal when you are dealing with something that like really needs some elbow grease. But I found that if I'm doing something that doesn't really need the elbow grease, it actually causes less work to just use a traditional scrubber brush and scrub it because you're not having that same flinging going around. But after this, I moved into Freya's room to declutter some of her toys. Get rid of? Yeah. What about Cookie Monster? Keep or get rid of? Stop it. You like Cookie Monster? Yeah. All right. Minnie, keep? No, stop it. You want to keep? No, stop it. No, that's not what I meant. Do you want to keep or you want to throw away? I keep. Keep. All right. What about Cocoa Melon? Keep? Yes. Okay. That's it too. Big Dolly, we want to keep or give away? Give away. Give away? Yeah. Okay. Mom, not my koala. Not your koala, no. Only what you don't want to play with anymore. This will go to another little girl that needs toys. You're going to help someone, okay? All right, Turtle. Keep, give away. Give away. Give away? Yeah. Can't do it. I can't do it. Bunny, keep, give away. Give away. Okay. Elephant, keep, give away. You want to keep it? Yeah. Okay, you can keep it. Yeah, but it's stupid. What this one? Keep, give away. Give away. Okay. That's longer too. So I wanted to show that little snippet of going through her toys because it is often a question of how do you declutter your kids' toys and get your kids to do it. I start them very young. Freya is only 3. I purposely do start though with certain toys that I know she would not want to get rid of. Like that Cocomelon, I didn't even need to ask. I knew that was a keep. But by asking her that one and then a couple other ones, it allowed me to make sure she understood what I was saying. Like she understood the keep and give away and just having the conversation as we go. She changed her mind on a couple things, and I let her know that that is more than okay. You can change your mind. You have to be comfortable with what you want to keep and what you want to give away. So we do this with all of our kids. We started them very, very young. I feel like decluttering is definitely a skill that needs to be learned because it can be very uncomfortable. Like decluttering can be one of those things that it's not a comfortable thing to do. But my kids, after every time we declutter, and we do this a couple times a year, they always do so much better. They play so much better with everything. I like to go through her stuff and give it a quick organization. With her age being only 3, going through her stuff happens a lot more often than the boys. Honestly, the boys I can do about once a year because their habits and their activities they do, they don't really change. However, at her age, there's a lot of toys that she doesn't play with anymore within the past 6 months. And I feel like that happens from pretty much newborn to about 5. You have to declutter a lot more often because their likes and dislikes change, and then just age appropriate toys change so much quicker at these younger ages. Now, if you remember in my last video, I was working on those closet doors. That was the big reason I wanted to get working in her room and declutter and move stuff around is I knew Bobby wanted to put those doors up. I had gotten 1 coat on the back and then 3 coats on the front of the doors. So you will notice that I still need to go in and put more coats on the back of the doors. But the doors were enough that we were able to hang them, and I actually don't mind painting them while they're hanging. Sometimes it makes it a little bit easier. So I wanted to get all this done, worked on the decluttering, and then I went in and Bobby put these trims up a couple days ago, and I hadn't gotten in with caulk to fill it all in yet. So I wanted to declutter, fill in with the caulk, and then give him the rest of the day in this room to hang the doors. I will say, though, I do love the way these look with the doors. They're so much better than those bifolds were, and it just does give this room a more completed, cleaned up look. So the next day, as you can see here, I was just putting on the handles. And the boys, we went with these pretty gold handles, but in here, I wanted to match like the door handles and stuff and go with these nice black ones. And I really, really like the way it looks. I was having to use the handle to help me a little bit with the holes. I have an actual like tool that lets me line up things for hinges and stuff, not hinges, handles and knobs. But I noticed on the first one, for some reason, it didn't line it up correctly. I don't know why. So I used my tool, but then I was also like double checking with the handle because it's very difficult to fix a hole when you've already drilled it. But I wanted to quickly tidy everything up and then go in and just vacuum and mop and set the robot vacuum in here. All of the things. Her room is getting so cluttered with all of her toys and stuff. This little car track, though, I did ask the boys. I'm like, is this something you guys still want or no? Because I wasn't noticing any of the kids actually playing with it. And then moving on to the kitchen, and like I said, I want to point this out again. This week, I was very much so struggling. All this stuff did not happen back to back. It just was not going to happen in that way this week. This is all stuff that I was like, okay, gotta get this done now. So I moved into the kitchen to tidy it up, clean up the dishes, get everything just back in order, because especially like when I am mentally, emotionally not doing well, having a dirty house makes it a lot worse. So that is often what I tell myself when I don't want to get up is you will naturally feel better and happier by cleaning. Even if right now you may not be the happiest, you will feel happier and better once the house is more in order. So I saw something yesterday talking about the habits of people with a clean house. So I kind of struggled with that a little because I was watching it and I'm like, I find myself to have a fairly clean house. Not all the time, but it's one of those things that it's clean enough that if I have company coming over, someone says, hey, I'm 5 minutes away, can I stop by? I can have my house looking pretty good in 5 minutes for company to come over pretty much at any part of the day. And I was going through the habits and whatnot, and I'm like, I don't follow almost any of these rules. The very first habit was they don't go to bed with a dirty house. And you guys, if you follow me, you know me. I don't like cleaning at night. It is a great habit to have. And if you are someone that's like, oh, I don't mind cleaning at night, I 100% recommend it. But me personally, after dinner, like all of us as a family will either sit down and watch a TV show, or Bobby and I will go hang out in the hot tub and have one-on-one time. Like at night, the last thing I am thinking about is cleaning the house. Like I think it is more important to spend time as a family, or even more, spend time as a couple, Bobby and I, than cleaning up my house. So it was funny that when the first thing that came was that, I was like, oh yeah, I don't do that. The second thing in that list was they do a load of laundry every single day. And once again, it is a great habit to have. And if you are more disciplined than I am, I do highly recommend it. But I am not that disciplined. And I'm like, well, dang, I think this list has discouraged me from thinking I am a clean person, because top 2 things on here so far, I do not follow. And I'll be honest, I don't remember the other 8 tips, but I do remember those very first 2. And I'm like, I'm already failing this list of being a clean person. So I mentioned that list because I feel like when it comes to most things, it really comes down to like you and finding someone that you can relate with and really fit their life into your life. I know with all of us, it is very, very different, which is why I like to talk about my struggles sometimes because I could just do plain cleaning motivation. And I do love having a clean house, and that is why I started this channel. But I feel like it's really important to talk about those things because sometimes when you're trying to find your perfect cleaning routine, and there are so many out there, like you have the fly lady, you have, I honestly can't even think of them all. So many different routines, but they're not going to work for everyone. For some of us, that is just not the way our brains work. Like we may want to do it that way and it sounds so good and it just does not happen. So I think it's very important to find someone that you connect with emotionally and life-wise to help you get into a good habits of getting things done. And sometimes not hearing that, oh, everything is perfect, everything's great, nothing in the world is bad ever, is sometimes a good thing because I feel like that's real life and it's really easy to get discouraged by social media because you don't see that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not going to bum you guys out about constantly talking negative because I also don't go on social media to hear that stuff. Like, I don't want to get bummed out. So that is not the situation, but I do want to talk about it at least somewhat in a way to also let you know, like, you're not alone. If you were bumming yesterday and you were just like, I don't know why I'm sad, but I was, and I just had no energy, felt like I couldn't get anything done, like I was emotionally exhausted and drained, you're not alone. You are definitely not alone. I go through those moments on a fairly regular basis, especially when there's like a lot going on in my life. And right now there is a lot going on, which I can't talk about right now. But here in the near future, you're going to pretty much know by seeing it on my channel that there's a lot going on. So mentally, physically, emotionally, I was just kind of out of it this past week, and that's okay. I still got up, got stuff done, because I will say, when I am in those situations, even though in my head I don't think doing any of this is going to help and it's just going to make me feel worse, it always helps. I am always in a better mood, a better mindset after doing this than before. So that I will tell you is it's really easy to be like, I just can't. I'm just too tired. I'm too emotionally drained. I'm too all of this. It's not worth it. It actually totally is worth it. I always feel a million times better when I am done, even if I did not want to start because I just wanted to lay and sleep all day. I always feel so much better. So don't let your brain trick you by telling you that it doesn't matter. It's not going to make you feel any better. You're just wasting your time, because you're not. I can guarantee that even if it's just a small project you get done, you will definitely feel a big difference when you are done. So I would love to know what is on your guys' to-do list. If it's something big, if it's something small. I feel like saying it out loud or typing it is something that makes you more likely to tackle that to-do list. So let me know in the comments below something you want to get done today. It can be as simple as unloading the dishwasher, or as big as completely organizing and decluttering my closet. But let me know down there. And once you have completed it today, I would love for you to come back and find your comment and let us know that you got it done. That is one thing I love about you guys. Like, I read your guys' comments all the time, and I realize, and I try so hard, I don't always respond back to your guys' comments, and I do try, but usually after the first 24 hours, it's just very, very difficult to keep up with it all. But I do see, like, I get notifications if someone comments and then someone responds to those comments. And it's all the time. I am seeing that, like, if I missed a comment, one of you are responding back, helping someone. And it can be for questions, people saying that they're struggling with something. And I have you guys reaching out saying, hey, we're praying for you. Like, you're in our prayers. You got this. Keep going. Like, you guys are amazing. So I would love for you to let me know what is on your to-do list today. And then once you get it done, come back here and we can all hold each other accountable and give each other some encouragement to tackle it all. If you have not pulled out your refrigerator recently, I highly recommend doing this. Luckily, mine was not that bad, and it's been a good couple months since I have pulled this out. Usually, I'm always finding toys and just a crazy amount of dog hair, but it was not bad at all. I was very pleased. I like to pull this out though and clean up all the dust bunnies. If the back of the fridge needs to be vacuumed off where those vents and stuff are, I like to do that just to make sure, one, it's clean, but two, and two's the bigger one, is that the refrigerator is running the way it's supposed to run. I often find that when things get clogged with hair, like, they just don't run as efficiently. Just like you're supposed to clean out your dryer vent. Same with all the different vents on your appliances. And when you're like me and you have animals in your house, those areas can get clogged a lot sooner. So I know, like I said, at least in my situation, it's definitely something that I have to do on a more regular basis to be able to keep up with it. Because we spend way too much on appliances nowadays. You guys get it. Everything's so much more expensive and doesn't last like it used to. So I will do anything to make sure that it stays in as good of shape as possible. No surprise, Minnie is by me at all times. This girl is so clingy. Actually, as I sit here doing this voiceover, she is currently sitting on my feet on the couch. I can't go and do anything without her wanting to follow, which is really cute, but also very exhausting. If I go to the bathroom, if I'm sitting, standing, everything, she is like on me, and not just like has to be near me, like has to be touching me. She's very, very cute, but man, this girl is a handful. So as I was mopping, this actually was not part of the plan. Like usually if I'm pulling out appliances, I don't always do them all at the same time. I'll do like one day, one the next day. Like I said, we're breaking it down. We're taking bite-sized pieces. But as I was doing this, I noticed something by the stove. And I was like, I'm just going to pull this out and clean out around it because I'm here anyway. I already did the fridge. So I ended up pulling this out as well, which I'm glad. If you have a stove like this where it's that glass top that sits on top of your counters, it gets so gross in between that crack. And like I cleaned that crack. Like I try and get in there with like a butter knife and wipe, and I try to do this on a regular basis, and it still just is always so sticky and grimy. So I made sure to just pull that out, get it all wiped up and cleaned up. This definitely, though, often takes a little bit more of a scrubbing because this is stuff that has been sitting there for a good couple of months. I'd love to say I pull out my fridge and my stove once a month, once every couple of months. But realistically, it's probably about twice a year that it actually gets done. So if you can only imagine stuff sitting there for a good 6 months, it gets grody. I did end up needing Bobby, though, to come in and help me put it back in just because I couldn't get the two sides to line up at the same time. So he came in and helped me finish the job. And then after I had the kitchen cleaned up, like I said before, I sat down, I took a break. I did not move directly into the dining room. However, I did end up needing to go in here. So I have a laundry basket in our bedroom. I have a laundry basket in Xander's bedroom and a laundry basket in Bjorn's bedroom. So for the most part, I try and do the kids' clothing separate. That way I can just, once their basket's full, I know it's a full load. I run it, I give it to them. But when it comes to like Freya's clothes and towels and things like that, often because I don't have another laundry basket, I see no point because the laundry room's right by the kitchen, we just throw stuff into the dryer. So even if I'm doing just Bjorn's clothes, I will still often have like a couple of Freya's clothes that are in there or a couple towels and stuff. So that's what that laundry basket on the table was, because I always tell the boys, I'm like, put all your stuff away. I give them the basket. They have to deal with their clothes. Actually, I'm teaching Xander how to actually wash his clothes. He doesn't do it all the time yet, but I am trying to like teach him how to do it. But so I tell them put their stuff away and then put the basket on the table, and then I will deal with the random stuff in there. So that's what I was doing there. But now this is my coffee bar, and I'm just cleaning it up because there's always coffee grounds everywhere. This is just like natural. When we are filling the little tapper with the grounds and stuff to make our espresso in the morning, it just naturally falls out. So that is why I do absolutely love having this small little vacuum. It makes it a lot easier to keep this area clean. And I don't know, I absolutely love having this coffee bar now. It's something we definitely take full advantage of. And we just really, really enjoy it. And no, we did not get the new coffee machine yet for Christmas. I had someone ask the other week that I didn't talk Bobby into getting a new espresso machine. We did not. You guys know me. I have a hard time pulling a trigger on expensive stuff like that. I would really like a newer, nicer espresso machine, but this one works. And that's where the struggle comes in. Like, do I want the nicer one? Yes. But this one works perfectly fine. So it's like hard to justify that. So I'm going to keep asking for gift cards. Once I have enough gift cards, that is when I will probably buy it, because then I don't feel like I'm spending our money on something that's not really necessary. Oh, I also wanted to respond. I had a comment that I saw yesterday. And I saw it when I was going to bed. So I did not respond to it via the text because I was falling asleep. But I did want to respond to it on here about, she mentioned where she struggles is floors. And I feel like a lot of us can relate to that, especially if you have kids and pets. And she mentioned she's got, oh, correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe you said 2 dogs and 2 kids. I'm trying to remember from what I read last night. And she said she struggles with floors, and I totally get that. Because it can be overwhelming. Now, she does say she has a robot vacuum, which is huge if you have kids and animals. Absolutely huge. Because it really does help maintain if you can run that at least once a day. But the big struggle was mopping. And it is a lot of work. I feel like a lot of us struggle with that. I try and break it up. So if I don't get anything mopped in a day, I try to at least use this vacuum mop, at least in my kitchen. Because the kitchen is where the kids are dropping food. It's a lot more grimy. But even on days like today where I wanted to get all the floors done, I broke it up. I tried to do the kitchen first, and then later on I went on to the rest of the floors, but I break it up. It doesn't always have to be done. But yeah, it definitely can be overwhelming. And if there's ever a task that you're like, I don't do it because it feels so overwhelming, like so much work, so I go weeks and months without doing it, that is when I recommend breaking it down. Like, you do not have to do your entire main living area. I mention on a regular basis that progress over perfection. Like, I think it is better to just do your kitchen than do nothing at all. And often we get overwhelmed by something and then we just don't do it. Like, we completely stop and are like, well, I'm just not going to do it at all. Where if you would have done just a little bit, it wouldn't have been perfect, no, but the progress would have been made. And always being said on my channel, it is better to have progress over perfection. So try that. Maybe breaking it down. Don't be so hard on yourself about I have to do the entire main living area, because that can be extremely overwhelming. But break it down. Be like, you know what? I'm going to at least do the kitchen. The kitchen is kind of grimy. Or I'm going to do at least by the back sliding glass doors where the dogs always come in and out, because that's always getting messy. But break it down. If you do your kitchen, and I'm just guessing like a back door because I got dogs too and I know where the dirty spots are. If you're like, I just need to get these 2 areas done, it's so much less overwhelming and a lot more manageable. And then if the rest of the house gets done once a week, once every 2 weeks, at least those areas of very high traffic and very likely to get nasty are tackled, and it's less overwhelming. So remember progress over perfection with any task in your life that feels so extremely overwhelming. But I want to thank you guys for being with me today, and hopefully you guys have a fabulous week. But I'll see you Friday. Bye.